internet of value at Ripple, we're thinking much bigger than just cross-border payments. It's kind of like Amazon with rare books in the early days, just this market happens to be a $10 trillion market.
We are at a historic turning point.
Said in the past that you are doing for money what email did for communication.
Moving the whole revolution forward.
Take on it.
There's trillions of dollars parked around the world. RP.
Is there a possibility that Ripple could take over Swift one day?
Well,
welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 25 Script. Let's get right into today's video. We have BlackRock, Coinbase, and Circle going after Tether. I can't believe the day has come. In a moment, I'm going to play you guys a video by Caroline Hill. Caroline Hill is the spokesperson for Circle at Congress. She is the Senior Director of Global Policy and Regulatory Strategy. Previously, she was at the US Department of Treasury. Circle has some top guns on their team. And then I'm going to play a video by Grant Rabin, and he has been working at Coinbase for 3 years, financial crimes, and prior to that, he was at the US Department of Justice. Again, some heavy hitters, and they're going after Tether. This is a monumental moment, ladies and gentlemen, and XRP will have direct impact on this because once stablecoin regulation kicks in, and these stablecoins can only interact with regulated assets like XRP to scale their USDC and go into more corridors. Welcome back to another episode. We are going to speak some facts here because this is all targeted. And then later on in the video, we were right. I'm going to play a little video by Kalani. She is working at Swift with Ryan Rugg and Ripple, all on the same panel and pretty much saying they're working on together on some tokenization products. But first, you got to listen to what Caroline Hill says here.
Some of those companies that you just mentioned have U.S. touch points, and I think that the U.S. government should ensure that it's using its authorities when there are those U.S. touch points. If Treasury feels like it doesn't have the authorities, I know that it sent a number of proposals to Congress late last year around expanding their authorities to cover some of those activities. I personally believe that no company should be allowed to reference the US dollar without having those democratic values inside the company, inside their US dollar-backed stablecoin. And so I think if Treasury thinks that it needs additional authorities to go over that, then I think this committee should consider that.
So to those US touch points, US financial services company Cantor Fitzgerald reportedly manages Tether's $72 billion portfolio of Treasury bonds, giving him access to US dollars. Cantor's enabling of terror and illicit activities across the globe is unacceptable. Ms. Hill, given Tether's nexus to the US financial system through Cantor Fitzgerald, does Treasury already have the authority to take action? And what should we be doing about American regulated companies like Cantor?
I would think that the Treasury Department would have the authority to take action given this U.S. touch point, yes. And I hope that they're looking at this seriously given Tether's reputation as well as the data that we've seen that they're contributing to terrorist financing and other malign activities.
This is all coordinated because if you guys recall, Coinbase took a stake in stablecoin from Circle. Why are they going against stablecoins, right, you would say, and not themselves as USDC? Because they're very transparent and they're deep with the regulators. They're not being secret about anything with Tether is. And in a moment, I'm going to show you guys some jaw-dropping evidence on how lame they are. And then we have deepening our partnership with BlackRock. This is Circle deepening their partnership with BlackRock, and they're going to be utilizing USDC, ushering in the next chapter for USDC. USDC has an essential role in serving the public interest when it comes to updating the financial system, having established itself as one of the most widely adopted and trusted digital dollars. And they're over here talking about how Tether is not trusted and it needs to be looked into. And remember, when BlackRock filed for their Bitcoin ETF, they chose Coinbase as their crypto custodian. And now listen to what Grant says.
The U.S. government should use all of its existing tools to go after these platforms. Many recent enforcement and actions in the crypto anti-money laundering space are good news. Accountability should happen.
And it just doesn't make sense because Tether was pretty much exposed for using fake documents. So their backers for Tether used up fake bank accounts. I mean, that is insane when you're talking about entering a regulated industry, and in the past you've done some extremely against KYC and AML. It just doesn't make sense. And remember this, Tether settles a $1 trillion lawsuit regarding market manipulation back in 2021. Are you $1 trillion? Yes, this is not a glitch. And you know when things get, when you're going to an extent where you've kind of messed up, in my opinion, and you try to say you're doing this. I mean, just look at this. Tether reveals partnership with Secret Service, FBI in letter to US Senate. What? I mean, we came and confirmed that this letter to the US Senate is a legitimate letter. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. But Tether, there's a lot of people out there that know the amount of money laundering that goes and went through Tether. I mean, this is all facts. This is not even speculation. This is not even a tinfoil hat segment. This is the truth. And when the stablecoin regulation is going to get passed, I'm going to be very interested in seeing how Tether gets their transparency and gets regulated and gets, engraved into the financial infrastructure. That's what it is. You need to understand the next step for financial institutions adopting stablecoins. It will Tether be one of those coins, because USDC will be used by Wells Fargo, Citibank, Chase Bank, JP Morgan. And the question is, do you guys see Tether being used by financial institutions? With that being said, listen to what the panel said here in regards to tokenization and how they're working together.
Right. So we talked with Pega and with Ryan on tokenized assets and CBDCs, and doing a lot of experimentation in both kind of areas as the market, has identified those as key next steps of what the next way into interoperability. And so if you look at tokenization, we started off last year looking at how we can be the single point person hooking up tokenized platforms to different payment platforms. And now we're working with a group of banks who are actually doing some experiments to see if they can use their existing Swift infrastructure to instruct the value of tokenized assets across multiple private and public blockchains. CBDCs we've been working in for a little bit longer. We started off creating a connector on the CBDC side, between DLT-based and fiat-based systems using existing financial rails. Then we did some sandboxing again with a small group of people just to see, does this make sense? Is this the right way? And, feedback from that group was, yes, it makes sense, and let's continue on experimenting. Then we had some central banks actually say, let me take your CBDC connector and we'll put it into our infrastructure and start doing some testing. And then we just opened up a second phase of sandbox testing with a larger group of banks and central and commercial banks that are looking at different use cases now and around FX and liquidity.
There's a lot of experiments going on. There's a lot of closed door meetings that we are not going to see or hear about. But just know 2024 is going to be a very bullish year overall for the whole crypto ecosystem. The fact that Coinbase and Circle are going after Tether and asking it to be investigated tells me that this year is going to be a very, very bullish year, and institutional investors are trying to come in with heavy pockets, and they want regulation in place, and they don't want any kind of shady activity. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I do appreciate every single one of you guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below, and we'll be back with another video.
We started building RippleNet with the thesis that crypto liquidity would eventually be able to support robust global payments, large payments. RippleNet was designed so that customers seeing the benefits of our fiat-based network could flip the switch to ODL once the market was mature enough. And this is exactly what's happening. Flip the switch. I think what we're building has, it's solving a real problem. And I think all of the tokens, my advice to anybody would be, understand the utility. If there's real utility and there's real value being delivered to a real customer, there will be value in the token.